everyone, welcome to another episode on the channel. And just before I go into what we're doing today, how did you like the new intro? Comment below. Did you feel like the edit was good? Did you feel like it could have been done better? Personally, I feel like it was really smooth. Now again, I've had an amazing week in regards to training. I've managed to get some new personal bests in, and the highlight of my week was this. For that for so long. I've been doing all the right things which my coach is telling me, and I want to thank him so much for helping me get in. For today's episode, we're going to go through what I've been up to. So obviously the last few weeks I did my functional movement screen, and I wanted to do another measurement test to see where I'm at, and so again I can keep measuring going forward. So what I did was a skin fold caliper and a tape measuring test. So for girth measurements, don't take that the wrong way. I did these 3 years ago. Unfortunately, I have lost the results. I can't quite remember where I was at, but I don't care about the past. It's all about where I'm moving going forward. But as you know me, I'm not too bothered about my physique, but it's good to know where I'm storing fat, where I'm gaining muscle more than others, and to keep in control of where I need to maintain my symmetry in my body. Retest this in 8 weeks, see what's changed, and again, see where I'm lacking, see where I need improvement, see if anything stayed the same, and go so forth. Now, the skin fold caliper I'm using in the video, it's cheap off Amazon. It's not one of these perfect ones which you need to recalibrate every so often. So I don't really care, because when I retest, I'm going to use the same caliper. So for validity purposes, that's going to be high. And again, the tape measure, cheap off Amazon as well. And basically, you'll see in the video some of the averages from some of the calipers show that they are quite cheap. You wouldn't get that kind of inaccurate measurement reading, so forth, with expensive pair. With the caliper test, you would go over the muscles that you're doing 3 times, and basically you would go for tricep, bicep, and then you would go back to tricep and bicep if you need to retest. Of course, you want to go for those 3 measurements anyway to see if there's any differences. Once you've got all your measurements, you will average the numbers out and divide it by the amount of times you have tested. For instance, with the triceps, you'll be able to see that we're going from the top of the shoulder, so where the joint is, and then we're going right the way down to the elbow. From there you get the midpoint position, so the halfway mark. You mark that up with a pen, and that's when you will go behind and you will grab as much of the fat that's on the tricep as you can and mark out a reading. From there you would go on to doing the bicep, which is the same, just on obviously the inside of the arm. So you would mark the front head of the shoulder and go down to the crease of the elbow and get the midway point. And again, pull the skin away, so you are measuring the fat, not the muscle. Now with the subscapular, you want to put your arm behind your back. You're going to go 1 inch away from the medial border of the scapula. You're going to mark it, and again, that's when you're going to pinch the fat away. Pecs, you want to go all the way from the armpit to the nipple in a diagonal fashion, and again, mark, pinch, relax. Mid-axillary, it's a vertical fold which goes from the mid-ax, of course midway through the body, to the sternum, and mark it, pinch, get a reading. Abdomen, belly button, you go 1 inch out from the belly button, and that's your marking again. As I keep saying, pen, marker, pinch. And the quadricep, you go from the hip crease to the knee or the patella. You get halfway between that, and that's where you will get your measurement. Now you can do calf as well. I didn't do my calf just because it's not really relevant. So we've got a total of 8 readings, and again we're gonna go right back through them again, see if there's any discrepancies, we'll say, that's a big word for me, any discrepancies, and then again we'll go over one more time just to be sure. Now with the numbers, you want to, again, as I said earlier, add them all together, then divide it by the amount of times you have done the test. So on each area I did them 3 times. So for instance, my tricep, I got 13, 11 and 14. Added them all together, divided it by 3, and that's 12.5 on average for my tricep. Now, it did give me a weird number, but I rounded it up or down. So I rounded it a little bit down and it gave me that average. Bicep, I got 3.5, 3 and 4, so the average was 3.5. My subscapular was 3 rounds of 10, so obviously the average is 10. With the pecs, it was 8, 5 and 5, the average being 6. With my mid-axillary, it was 5, 5 and 6, so the average is 5. Super iliac crest would be 6, 7, 7, the average being 7. My abdomen was 9, 9 and 8, so the average is 9. And then my quadricep was 12, 13, 14, the average being 13. Now you can see I store the most fat in my quads and my tricep. That's just how my body works and my genetics work. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm quite happy because the numbers are still very, very low. Of course, personally, I want to avoid as much fat away from the abdomen and the superiliac crest as possible. So I'm quite happy with that. Both of my numbers for those are under 10. When I go to retest, hopefully it's shifted ever so slightly so I can get a lower average. After putting all of these into an online calculator, it gave me a 9.1% body fat in total. Really happy about that. I don't know how accurate this online calculator is, but this is how I'm measuring my accuracy for now. Then we went into doing some tape measurements. So a total of 6 tape measurements. So we did the waist, which was 84 centimeters. So you go from the thinnest part around the waist, quite literally, and that's where you get your measurement. Make sure it's tight and make sure it is all in line. Then got the hip. So on top of the hip joints, you'll find the bony part of the hip, literally put it on. And again, measure all the way around. Arm, so relax the arm. We're going on the right hand side. You want to go from that midpoint of the arm, so what you marked earlier doing your skin fold calipers, and that was 30. Sorry, the hip 85. The chest, so go around the nipples, that is 94. Of course, that is going to match your lats as well, so it's not just the chest, it does go around the top of the lats. The thigh, so you go from the patella again to the crease of the knee and you get the midway point. So again, from doing your skin fold, you will have the halfway point already, so that was 51. And then calf, you go from the ankle to the patella and you get the midway point, and that was 34. If you know me, my calves are very short and kind of non-existent. They go bulky out, but they're non-existent. So measurements, just do that once. Of course, with myself putting on weight, tape measurements are bound to go up and not down. So we'll just see what happens with that. I also did my blood pressure, which was 127/84, optimal being 120/80. So because that's so close, I'm really happy with that. It's just, again, good balance of lifestyle with food and training, getting a decent amount of anaerobic and aerobic cardiovascular fitness in. My weight being measured yesterday was 74.4, again, a new high. Come all the way from 68 in the past 9 weeks, which I'm really satisfied. And resting heart rate, which I got from my blood pressure monitor, was 53. So again, all of those numbers are great. I expect to see the weight go up, the blood pressure to remain similar, and the resting heart rate to go down slightly as my training is increasing and becoming more aerobic. And to finish this, obviously measurements aren't measurements without 1 rep maxes. Testing my 1 rep maxes, you'll see on the screen my first one being a squat clean, that's at 75. I did try the 80 and 77, just didn't have the energy in me. I feel like I fatigued too much. So when we go to do that again, I can guarantee that number's going to go up. Bench, I haven't been doing very often because my chest is quite tight, but 100 kilograms for 1 felt very comfortable and confident. I definitely could do more. Deadlift 160, technique's not perfect, but I got the weight up, so technically that is a 1 rep max lift. Again, I could do more, but technique wouldn't be great. Front squat, 100 kilograms. I wasn't entirely happy about the depth of this movement, but again, it was a big confidence builder. I need to make sure that's nice and high to help with my squat cleans. Overhead squat, 60 kilogram. Haven't got the balls to do any heavier just yet, squatting with someone above my head, so I did 3 reps of 60. Push press, 70 kilograms. I'm fully aware that this was as part of a bear complex, but again, I haven't actually got a video of me just doing the 70, so this will do. And then back squat, very recent, which is at 120. Again, felt very comfortable and fairly confident I could go heavier. But they're my current 1 rep maxes, and I'm very happy about the way that that's going. Again, retesting 1 rep maxes. My advice, do it whenever you feel confident. Personally, I'm gonna just continue to do mine on the day where it feels good. If I'll go into a day I've got no energy, I'm definitely not gonna test the 1 rep max. But if I'm feeling fairly certain on a 90% in my 1 rep max, doing a back squat that it feels good, I'm gonna try my 1 rep max. Again, there's no defined date to when you should test them. Ideally, you want to be doing a very powerful, if not strength program aside that, to make sure you are getting stronger. But on the day, if you feel confident, your muscles feel great, you feel mobile and you're injury free, what's to stop you from doing another 1 rep max? Always there for the testing.
So guys, thanks for watching if you got to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, and if you're not subscribed already, subscribe. Trying to grow the channel, and I want to grow it as quick as I can. If you got any requests upon what you want to see, comment below as well.